So now when we got our brows done, we have framed our face. We are gonna move on to eyeshadow. And that's gonna give us that, you know, that sexy look that when we look into the guy, he's gonna wanna. Rule number 1, when it comes to eyeshadow, you know that eye primer is necessary. No matter what anyone says, primer is, you know, here to stay. So for that, I'm gonna be using the eyeshadow primer. This is part of the PERFECTitude series. So it's long lasting and it's actually, you know, has a little of a nude tone. So if you like that, or if you have any, you know, red eyelids, it's gonna kind of neutralize the tone of them. So for my eyes, I'm gonna be using the Eye Devotion 720 Devoted to Metallics palette, and this is a really cute and small palette that you can have in your purse, and it has basically everything you need, you know, if you're gonna travel or just want to, you know, spark it up after work, if you're going straight after work to your date or any other event. So I start by using a blending brush to go into my crease. These colors are actually shimmery, so it's nice if you like shimmery shades. Otherwise, you can always replace with similar that are matte. But since I want to go for a more summery, glowy look, I'm gonna take these shades. Also, it's really nice that they reflect some light. It's because I have smaller eyes, so it's gonna give the illusion of a bigger eye. And especially when I go and bring in the darker shapes, not shapes. Then I go in with the brownish and start from the outer corner inwards. You see, it starts to create that nice depth. Then after that, I'm gonna take my finger and take the golden shade and just put it, like dab it on my lid, closer to the lash line, and then take my brush and just blend in. With a smaller brush, just take the lightest shade and apply it on the inner corner. Then with the darker shade, you go with a eyeliner brush or a flat brush and just put it on the lower lash line. Close to the lash line, doesn't have to be like so perfect, but you don't want it to go too low. And right now it may look more dramatic, but when you add mascara, it's gonna tone down a little, so it's not gonna look as dramatic and like, oh my goodness, what is this, like panda eyes or something? No, just like that. And let's move on to this eye. I'm gonna be using the same eyeshadow, but I'm gonna, you know, take in this darker shade and I'm gonna make a smoky eye, but that is way more heavier. So I'm gonna start the same, like, you know, put in the rose gold here. Then I'm gonna blend some of the primer with the golden shade, and that's gonna make it stand out more. Like, it's gonna make it way more pigmented, so it kind of becomes like a creamy eyeshadow. So you see, oh my goodness. So this smoky eye is a little heavier, you know, in the sense that it has some darker colors. So of course, this is more like an evening makeup. That. And next, I'm gonna use some eyeliner. And for that, I'm using the Confession eyes. Ooh, Confession. So this is a long-lasting eyeliner, and I'm just gonna put it on my lower lash line. And then just take a brush and just blend it out to make it a bit more smoky. And it's not like all the way, but just like a C or like a V, depending from which angle you're looking at, you know. And from that, I'm gonna be using some of the most innovative products right now in the market that, you know, you see all kinds of brands doing this, and it's called the Roll Liner. So let's try this out. Oh, it's actually really nice because, you know, usually if you have a brush, it's just, you know, you really have to work it so it doesn't become too thick, and I always have that problem. Like that. So let's move on to mascara. So for mascara, we're gonna be using the GUILTeyes. So we go from Confessions to Guilt here. So I really like this mascara because it defines your lashes. So let's try it out. I am really in love with the mascara. I usually have the problem that my lashes lift, but they're gonna go down after some time. So they start to look more like, you know, they're gonna hurt somebody, like. And then do the same on the other side. So I think a mistake that many people do is that they start to kind of do the zigzag, and you have to think of what kind of mascara you have, because, and also your lashes, because if they already have a lot of mascara on, you're just gonna, you know, kind of get sticky and not defined. Now when this side looks like a spider web, I can move on to the lips. So for lips, I have chosen 2 different shades, and for my date night, I'm gonna be using a classic red. The reason why I chose this is because it's one of my favorite colors, and I think it's a nice contrast to the hair. And also it just brings out, you know, like this sophisticated, very feminine like look, and it just looks awesome. And I'm gonna be using the Lip Affair. The name of this shade is 100% Christina, and this is like 100% beautiful. And it's gonna match my sexy little cute polka dots blouse. So I'm gonna just start here. Usually if I would do both, like both sides or my entire lip, I would kind of start with doing like an X. But since we're gonna use another color, I'm just gonna, you know, follow the natural line that I have. What is good about this is that it is a long-lasting formula, so don't worry that it's gonna bleed out or so on. So that's why it's important to use like lip liner. Not only does it define, but it actually makes your lipstick stay. So next step is lipstick. I start to look very harmonious here, right? So for my lipstick, I'm gonna be using the Lip Affair matte lipstick, and it looks like this. So I'm just gonna apply it. You can use a brush if you want it more defined. And even though this lipstick is matte, it actually has some caring properties, so it won't dry out your lips. For the other side, I'm gonna go with a more brownish 90s like shade, and it's also a bit more newish, so not as, you know, outstanding as this one. And that is also in the matte series, and I'm gonna be using the Velvet Sorrow in 940. For this part, I'm not gonna be using a lip liner, so you can see what the difference may be. But since it's natural and this side is not that natural, I'm gonna, you know, play out a little and actually draw my lips to seem like they're bigger, to make them look like I did the Kylie Jenner challenge. Wow, you can really see the difference. This looks like I just got stuck by a bee, and then like normal. With that done, let's move on. So for my blush, I'm using the Blush Mint. The Blush Mint in number 10, and it has a really funny name, Be the Game Changer. And this is basically changing my game when it comes to this side, because it's gonna add that special, you know, little nice look. So just apply it, take a little here and apply it. I think we're done. Last, I wanna finish this amazing dual look with some setting spray, and I think that is key when you want, you know, to kind of finish your look in the way that, you know, it starts to look too powdery, or in case that it looks nice but you want it to stay on the entire night or the entire day. For that, I'm gonna be using the PERFECTitude setting spray, and it's 3-in-1, so you can actually also use it as a primer, as a mist, or, you know, as I'm gonna be using it as a setting spray. You see? I like that it doesn't come like a splash, you know, like. So this is the final result. I'm so happy with it. I think that you can clearly see the difference between a more like soft, nice, natural, radiant look that is a little flirty, and the full glam bam. If you like this video as much as I loved creating it, I hope that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are releasing a new tutorial each week, so hit that bell button for notifications. For more information, follow us on our social media to get all the updates. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time, as I did. Remember that it's all about feeling comfortable and being yourself. And confidence is really what makes beauty shine through. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye!